So I'm gonna talk about being an artist, passionate artist in the rural areas, right? Let me talk about this. Chapisi, chapisi, chapisi. You know, so yeah, man. So I'm gonna talk about being an artist in the rural areas. I grew up in the rural areas where I grew up without TV. But I grew up we didn't have a TV growing up. It was so crazy how I'm passionate about the arts. Something that I grew up not having. We didn't have a TV at home. We started having TV but like recently. Most of the time I listen to artists, celebrities, South African celebrities, or let's say artists in South Africa, right? Most of the time, most of them, presenters, DJs, most of them, when they talk about what inspired them, they was inspired by TV, right? You know, or your TV. The first time I saw your TV, literally, the first time I saw your TV, I was in high school. And first time I saw um your TV, I was in high school. Then in Rustenburg. Just by the way, I'm shooting this videos in Rustenburg at Gemopoking. So yeah, man, I grew up. But then looking back in my life, looking back, honestly, I think I've always been an artist. I've always been a DJ, not DJ, up to DJ, of course. What I mean, I remember I used to there was we don't have a tavern where I come from even today, and that's the thing about if a village does not have a tavern, what does it have? Nothing. The only thing that we have in my village where I come from, it's just primary school. That's it. There's no hall, there's no tavern. Like I said, if a village does not have a tavern, what possibly can they have? Nothing. But I come from a village where, man, there's a lot of talent where I come from, especially soccer. So my village, like said, if people watch my story, my village, it's a last village out of South Africa, right? Literally just out of South Africa and out of the Northern Cape to then there's a corner of Botswana in Northern Cape, not Namibia, right? Out of Northern Cape, right? From there it's just farms, the places Maburu, right? So when it comes to soccer, right? One thing I respect about talents where I come from, soccer, right? We don't have anything, but we don't have a tavern. There's no people who come to our village for what can I say for for groove or anything, except just one thing, soccer. Good Friday, December, that's the time where literally people from Kimberley, Bomafikeng, coming from Bukurumani. I remember last 2013 Good Friday, there were even people coming from Motsweding FM, like guys who works for Motsweding FM who came just for soccer. And for me, I've never been a soccer person. I'm not a soccer person. Yeah, I used to play soccer, but literally it was not my thing. I knew myself that I'm an actor, I'm a DJ, I'm a groovist. So so when it comes to soccer, man, I remember there was this one guy that I grew up with, man. His name was Zuma. Um, and I remember going back to the village and I look at him, Fana, and I'm just like, whoa, you know. Gens are just into smoking and drinking alcohol. There's just no hope at all. But I knew that that guy, had they coming from Joburg, or coming from um Kasi, Soweto, where people say I'm from dusty streets of Soweto, and you go to Soweto and you see, and you think it, people say dusty streets of Soweto. Do you know what can I do just to be born in Soweto, being from Soweto, being in Soweto? We come from their dust. their dust. You know, we go to Soweto, some people say dust is the street of Soweto. And I just feel like that's such a disrespect thing, you know, this such it's such a disrespect, you know, to Soweto for someone to say like they coming from the dusty streets of Soweto. And I don't want to take away from people and their struggle. You know, we all have a different struggle, and that's affected. Growing up, I've realized actually that we all have a different struggle, right? But man, people say something like that, and they, you know, I remember there was this one DJ, you know, not DJ, but he's not a DJ now. He's but a radio host, you know, very, you know, big radio host. He said he tweeted the other day. He said we all have 24 hours, you know, and I'm just like, hey, man, people who are privileged in Fana, people who are privileged, they can just say any and everything in J, you know, but I'm not gonna get into that, you know, but it was just a thing of just, you know, I just want to talk about being an artist who come from the rural areas, man, in the Northern Cape, you know, where there's no success story, you know, there's no success story in Bana where, you know, someone like Casper, Kimotwana, he's from Mafikeng, Bona is from Mafikeng, who else? Bukatla Hodanke, Mafikizolo, they Boiti, they come from closer to Joburg or to towns, from towns, right? So where I come from, they are not really success story, man, of somebody that we can reference, say like they did it coming from the Northern Cape. I can do it, you know. Um, we don't have that, you know. I think I've only heard that actually there's an artist who come from the Northern Cape. It's the only thing that I can think of is Proverb, right? Someone said Connie Ferguson is from the Northern Cape. I'm not sure, but I heard that she's from Kimberley. But some people they say she's from Botswana. I'm not sure, right? And oh, just recently there's this lady. Oh, also, um, Nia Brown. I think I've read her story. She's from Kimberley as well. But it seems like everybody they just from, you know, city. You know, Kimberley is much better because of being Kimberley. There are clubs. You know, being Kimberley, there are radio stations. You know, being Kimberley, there are festivals, there are concerts that are happening there. You know, and I'm not saying that probably things are easier for them. You know, right? I'm far from Kimberley. I'm more closer to Namibia and Botswana than I am to Kimberley. You know, so growing up in the rural areas, man, it was hard. It was hard. It was hard. You know, and I have to go to Joburg for chasing my dream. You know, chasing a dream that I've never had somebody close to me or close to my province who've made it within the entertainment industry. You know, the only thing I can think of is Proverb, you know, and I only heard the story that Proverb is from Kimberley on Idols when Tato was auditioning for Idols, right? That was the first time I heard actually. But I don't like complaining. You know, I don't like complaining. I'm not one person to complain. I've always said to myself, "There's no excuse, man. If you want something, you have to go and get it." You know, my only thing, man, and the only thing that kind of like delayed my process, honestly, was just a thing of like fear. You know, after I found out, you know, that there's a witchcraft within my family, man. That was the only thing that delayed my process. Fear of saying like, I remember there was a time when I said to me, it's like clearly these people the lawyer me for because of apparently what they do. These people, not apparently, that's a fact. They watch your life, right? How your life is gonna be, you know, and they lawyer you based on that, right? And I lived in fear because of that, and I was like, yo, they lawyer me in fact, and I'm like, okay, cool. If they lawyer me obviously for this, and I stopped. Literally, I stopped. I said to myself, like, you know what? I'm gonna just be like kids in the rural areas and just, you know, just be people. Don't papa, you know, do not papa because otherwise your head is gonna roll. You know, until one day I was like, but still, man, even people in the rural areas who have nothing, they still lawyer them, you know. And I said, 2023, I thought that I'm gonna do this in January 2023, but still, I lived in fear, but I lived in fear, guys. I lived in fear. Yo, do not ever live in fear. Do not ever live in fear. Boy, do not live in fear. Seke ebe mo bophelong ba gago aparela ke kobo ya letsogo, you know. And then, yeah, man, I decide now I'm just gonna do this thing. Bayambulala, abambulali, God is there, you know. I'm doing this, you know. I'm doing this. I'm going for my dreams, man. I'm a DJ. I'm an actor. I'm gonna do this, you know. I'm gonna do this. I'm going to do this. Apparently, they when we talk, they hear us, you know, talking. Not for me, they can come through, man. They can come through. I'm doing this, you know. So yeah, man, I am doing this, you know. Yeah, guys, being artist from the rural areas, it's difficult. It's a difficult thing, you know. There's so many people who are talented, man, where I come from, but they just a thing of like people, they don't know a thing of collaboration, right? There are some producers who are dope. There are guys who have cameras. Some people they have this, some people they have this, but coming together is just a difficult thing. I don't know why, you know. But yeah, man. I'm doing this. You know, this year when I am doing this. You know, I almost said F word, F word, the fear, F word, the witches, baloi, F word them. You know, I am literally flipping the bird on them, flipping the bird on fear, flipping the bird on the witches. Honestly, yeah, man, nah, I'm done with fear. Literally, I'm saying it loud here. I'm done with fear. I am done with fear. Go nna mo letshogong, go nna ke apara letshogo because of baloi, mfana, because of bone, but no. Anyway, I don't know if I made any points there, but I was just decided to share the story, man, because of I just want to have the confirmation to myself to say like let go of fear. So there's a video for me to say let go of fear, you know. So yeah, man.